Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Deep Rock Galactic. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zero. Let's get to it. So today we're playing the Deep Dive, codenamed Fool's Salute. But before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. Stage 1 of the Deep Dive has lethal enemies, which means that all enemies are going to do increased melee damage. In addition to that, we also have two main objectives. We have both salvage 3 mules and collect 2 alien eggs. So this is a full salvage mission. So you're going to have to go and repair those mini mules. You're going to have to grab those alien eggs before you can move on. Now, we did happen to come across a Betsy, which doesn't really like you at the beginning. You have to take out these nodule suckers on the sides of them. But at the same time, we also had a horde of enemies coming after us, which made it a little bit more dangerous. In addition to a detonator. Detonators are dangerous in and of themselves, by themselves, with a Betsy and with a bunch of other bugs that we had to deal with, even more so. Detonators do a lot of melee damage anyway, and with lethal enemies, it really is a lethal melee that it's going to do. So take it out quickly away from you, and then move on with your mission. Once you reprogram Betsy, then you can bring it over to your side, to the right side, and it'll fight for you, but it still does friendly fire, so be aware of that. Now, the alien eggs, you're just going to look for that organic matter on the sides of the level. Dig it out. Mini mules, you're going to look for and listen for, because they do ping, but they also have that green dome of light around them. Once you have the mini mules and the alien eggs, you can send them back to that derelict drop pod, but you have to re-sync it with the orbital craft that you have, the rig in space, and then that is a zone control. Once you get done with that, guess what? You're going to have to refuel it, and that is going to be another zone control. With the zone control, the more people that are in the dome, the faster it goes. The fewer people, the slower it goes. And if nobody is in that green dome, then you start losing progress rapidly. If you get down to 0%, you've failed the deep dive. But once you get up to 100%, then you're ready to move forward. But even with that, you'll still have to wait 90 seconds, a minute and a half, before you can get on the drop pod. You have to wait for it to power up. Slower than a Windows ME machine. Taking forever just to boot up. So you can defend the area, or you can run around, whatever you prefer to do, or what is best in that situation for you. With Betsy on your side, it's a little bit easier to defend. But if you're getting low on bullets, then maybe it's best to kind of run around and just kite the enemies, keep them away from you, and take them away from the drop pod. And then once the drop pod is done powering up, then you can get on. Now just be aware that once the pod powers up, you'll only have 1 minute, that's 60 seconds, to get on before it leaves without you. So do make sure that you are getting on or getting towards the drop pod when that countdown gets down to 0. So that's it for stage number 1. Moving on to stage number 2.
Come on, guys, we're leaving. Could you please hurry up? We're leaving.
Good team effort. The deep dive is progressing smoothly.
Rock and stone, you beautiful dwarf.
Alright, stage 2 of the deep dive. This time around we have 2 modifiers. We've got rich atmosphere and regenerative bugs. In addition to that, you've got your crystallized morkite and dreadnought main objectives. So regenerative bugs means that if you damage a bug but don't finish it off, it'll start regenerating. It has this kind of greenish cloud that comes around it, and it'll start getting its HP back. So make sure that once you start damaging a bug, that you take it out. Especially these bigger bugs like Praetorians, Oppressors. There it is. Starting to regenerate. Nanocyte breeders, any of those bigger bugs that you've put a lot of bullets into already, and then it starts healing. It's not good. Of course, dreadnoughts are the boss-like creatures of Deep Rock Galactic. This time around, we got the Glyphid Dreadnought, which has fireballs. It spawns little swarmers. Additionally, it will do an area of attack melee damage, which it telegraphs, so you'll know that it's coming. Just like that. Does a little roar and then pounds the ground, does a whole bunch of damage. And then, of course, it tries to get in close to do melee damage, which is a lot. Luckily, this isn't lethal enemies, but it still does a decent amount of damage. Now, additionally, most of the dreadnoughts have a invulnerable state, a shielded state, and a damaged state. So right now, Glyphid Dreadnought is invulnerable, goes gray, and then it's shielded, has that yellow bar. You can only do damage from the back side of it. So shooting it at the front isn't going to do anything unless you have something that will penetrate. Like the Arms Core coil gun. So this is a good time to point out that the Deep Dive is a 3-stage raid-like environment where you can play by yourself with your buddy Bosco or with up to 3 other players, either pre-made or match-made. Just know that if you're doing it solo, the Dreadnought's always going to be coming after you, so it may be a little bit more difficult to get behind it to do damage. Now you just have to do a rinse and repeat. Once you do some damage, it'll go invulnerable. You want to maximize your damage. So focus on the Dreadnought when it's in its damage phase, so you can get as much damage in as possible before it goes immune. And if you do so, you'll be able to take it out in 3 rounds. If you aren't doing the max amount of damage, it may take 4 or 5 rounds. So, because there is a timer once that damage phase starts. After a certain amount of time or damage, whichever comes first, it'll go immune. But just keep at it, and you'll have them down in no time. Now, once you have all the Morkite and the Dreadnought taken care of, it's time to move on, call in the drop pod, and make your way out. Now, this is a good time to point out that everything carries over in the Deep Dive from one stage to the next. That includes your health, your bullets, your weapon ammo, your traversal tools, grenades, everything including what is in your pockets. So if you have some gold or nitra that you've not had a chance to deposit into the mule, then it will carry over to the next stage. Just make sure that you drop it into the drop pod or the mule on the 3rd stage before you get out, just to ensure you get credit for it. And of course, you're going to be looking for gold and nitra on every stage of the Deep Dive. Gold, of course, will give you more credits at the end of the deep dive. Nitro will keep you flush with ammo and health during the deep dive. So both very important, just for different reasons. Now, unfortunately, there's no regional minerals in the deep dive, except if you happen to find a mineral hoarder during your plight. So if you do see one, that is your one opportunity to get regional materials that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get. Now, as always, when you're running back to the drop pod, you can either follow the mule back just by following the little posts, the glowing posts that it puts down, or you can make your own way if you have a member on your team that is a driller. So that's it for stage number 2. Moving on to stage number 3.
The mule is secured. Initiating launch sequence. Deep Rock Galactic thanks you for your good work. Drop pod will leave with or without you.
All right, on to the third and final stage of the deep dive. This time around, we have no modifier, which is great because usually it's a detriment. At best, it's a double-edged sword. So like the last round, we had 2 modifiers. We had rich atmosphere and regenerative bugs. Rich atmosphere means everyone moves faster. And then the regenerative bugs, of course, means that the bugs, if you don't finish them off, they're going to get their health back. This time around, we've got just alien eggs and morkite. So we've got 6 alien eggs and then the crystallized morkite. Crystallized morkite, you're just going to look for that gray-blue glow and dig it up just like you would your gold or nitra. Alien eggs, you look for that organic matter. Take out the bugs as they show up. Keep them at arm's length and you'll be done in no time. Call in that drop pod once you have everything done and get out. And of course, one of the big reasons to do the deep dive at all is for those matrix cores, which give you weapon skins, cosmetics, and weapon overclocks. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Button on the mule is activated. Time to move on, team.
Ready to kill some more.
Smooth as always, team. Drop pod is on the way.
Attack!
Drop pod arrived. Mule is returning to LZ. Drop pod departing in T-minus 5 minutes.
This thing stop missing. Why just so long, suckers?
Drop pod departing in T-minus 4 minutes.
No.
Stand back. Supply pod inbound.
Lying around the station. Yeah. What are
The
they?
mule has been successfully retrieved. Make it snappy, team. The drop pod won't hang around forever.
Resupply. Resupply.
Supply pod launched. Better stand back.
In place.
Supply drop has been ordered and is on the way.
Stone, you ain't coming home.
Nitro's been withdrawn and supply pod is inbound.
Time to restock.
Good work. We're pulling you back in.
We rock. What do we have here?
PlayStation